Yolanda, one of the things that I know the youth ministers who participated in your symposium really enjoyed was that you didn't just describe different ways of engaging in spiritual practices with creativity. Every day there were exercises that they did that not only demonstrated for them what you were talking about in your lecture, but then it was a takeaway. It was something they could use. Could you share with us some of the practices that you found most generative during the course of the week?
Yes, we were very intentional about making sure that every day we talked about the theory, but then we would move from theory to practice and then have an opportunity for us to then reflect on what it was that we did. And so the first day, we focused on spiritual disciplines as a whole, and we talked about the various disciplines that we would be working throughout the week. And we thought we would start with communion, or the Lord's Supper or the Eucharist, depending on your tradition. And what we did was at every one of the tables, we had bread, we had grape juice, and we had cups that were set up there. And after we talked about the different types of disciplines and engaging young people, this was one that we wanted to emphasize the communal nature of spiritual disciplines. But we invited each one of the groups at the different tables to actually do a communion service. We had kind of a guide there that they could either use or not use. But if they were working with a youth group, what would communion look like? And if they were youth themselves, how might it be meaningful for them? And so we invited them to participate in a communion service that they would be leading themselves that might be something that youth could buy into or create or engage in. That was one of the ones that we did. For the worship class, the class that we focused on worship, we decided that we wanted them to have an opportunity to experience several different types of worship. So we set up, I think it was 4 or 5 different learning stations that offered them an opportunity to experience worship in a different way. So one was just an opportunity to sit in silence. Another one was an opportunity to go through and do a litany. Another one was an opportunity to taste fruit and to savor it, and then to write a poem or a scripture or a prayer. And so there were several different ways of worshiping that they had an opportunity to experience. And so they moved from one to the next, to the next, to the next, until everyone was finished. In honoring the body, we talked about that already, we focused on movement, embodied movement. So we had them participate in the praying by the hands, and then also as a group creating a Lord's Supper as a body prayer, the different groups. And then the very last day, we talked about creativity, creating as a form of engaging the spiritual disciplines. And what we did was we decided to make a tapestry. And the tapestry must have been about 3 to 6 feet, and everyone had a strip of fabric, and on that fabric they had an opportunity to write down something that was meaningful for them throughout the week, what was most meaningful for them throughout the week. And so we weaved it, we set it up like a loom, where you would be weaving together carpet or weaving together some kind of a rug. And we went through and wove each one of the strips together until we had this beautiful tapestry that embodied all of the learnings, all of the inspiration throughout the week. And that was then used as a way for us to reflect at the end of the class, at the end of the day, on our experiences together.